Hello, hello. Welcome back to Podium Pop. My name is Gracie and I'm here with my co-host Celine. We just finished up watching the Singapore Grand Prix and we're going to do a little recap of that to talk about some things leading up to the Singapore Grand Prix race weekend and maybe talk a bit about Insta because we have Petit Le Mans next weekend. Very, very exciting. So let's pop the bottle and get right into it. Oh, that was
a
amazing.
good one. I have
amazing.
Short nails right now. That's always the defining factor on how my pop is if I have long nails or not.
Yeah, for sure. You got to keep them short purely for branding purposes.
Purely to do the pop at the beginning of the episode.
Absolutely. No more long nails. Before we get started, make sure you are following us here on Spotify and YouTube and over on our socials. We have lots of fun content there. And I just don't know why you're not following at this point or subscribed. Pretty crazy.
What's your reasoning?
Yeah, what's the deal? Go ahead. All right, let's get started. First things first from the weekend, we learned that Alex Dunn and McLaren have split. Alex no longer has a contract with McLaren. He's currently racing in Formula 2, and he was racing with McLaren, and that is no longer happening. A lot of people are saying he got a contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it would imply. It doesn't. Yeah. So what would be the point of them? He's doing well. He's doing really well. So what would be the point in breaking that contract if it wasn't for the fact that he was in talks with other teams for a Formula 1 seat or even a reserve seat Formula 1? Because honestly, the way that McLaren, maybe not after this. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But McLaren is a strong driver lineup. They both have pretty long contracts. They have, a strong reserve driver with Pato. So there's not really a spot for him to slot into. They did this, the same thing with Gabby.
Yeah.
They broke the contract with Gabby. Gabby signed with Sauber. Now, where Alex would be going, I don't know.
There's been some talks of him signing with Red Bull.
I saw that.
And then signing with Red Bull, staying in F2 for next year. And then seeing what happens years following.
Yeah.
A lot of people are that's so dumb for them to drop him. And I think he's very talented. And there's part of me that's this is a mistake. But also and people said they were so dumb with Gabby too. Do you want them to just sit there?
Right. They're doing potential. They are, they could be considered dumb to drop them.
Yeah, for sure.
But ultimately, McLaren is... It's benefiting Alex.
It's benefiting Alex.
Because it opens him up for opportunity that he can actually potentially move into an F1 seat.
Yeah.
Yes, it sucks for McLaren and it's bad for McLaren, but at the end of the day, if Alex comes to them and is hey, I want to talk to other contracts or talk to other teams for contracts, and McLaren's no, you're contract with us. Okay, well, you just got a pissy F2 driver.
Yeah.
Then. And you're stopping him from potential. I'm sure there was a conversation. I'm sure it was a mutual thing. I can't imagine... Again, because he's doing so good.
Yeah.
He did really good in the practice sessions that he's participated in. So I think I wonder if we'll be hearing news soon.
I know. Interesting.
It took a while after McLaren dropped Gabby and then to hear the stake announcement for Gabby. Longer than I was expecting last year.
I don't remember that.
It was because I feel we didn't hear about Gabby until later.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of
logistics.
He's got a seat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's he's going to state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? I mean, what open seats are there next year? I mean, technically the Mercedes seat.
Well, both of them.
Both of the Mercedes seats are technically open.
I mean, there's the Alpine, but they have Paul Aaron and they still have Jack Doohan down there in the wings. God bless him. I don't think that's anything's happening there. It's basically Alpine. There's a V Carb open.
Yeah.
There's a Red Bull open. Yuki only signed to 1 year. So basically,
sorry,
I was gonna say basically somewhere with Red Bull or Alpine.
So, kind of talking about the Red Bull situation.
I have a very strong opinion.
So right now, everyone's saying that Isaac is going to Red Bull, which I think that Isaac has had a fantastic year. I think that it would be a well-deserved promotion.
Yeah.
Some people call it a promotion, a well-deserved move.
I mean, after the past 2 weekends of racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it is does Yuki leave? Does he go to Alpine with Pierre?
That's, again,
crazy lineup. I'd love that.
That'd be so
love
fun.
That.
That'd be so fun.
Does he go down to V-Carb?
Going down to V carb, I would just be like,
it'd feel bad. It'd feel bad.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's happened so many times before.
Yeah. I think they should, personal opinion and maybe a little bit bias in this because I like Yuki. I think they should keep the lineup the same, Max and Yuki. I think they really need to keep Isaac in there. And maybe just keep it all the same. Keep
it the same. Okay, but
I apologize. What's his name in F2? Lin
Arvid?
Arvid.
Yeah.
Keep him in F2 and let him practice a bit more.
So
I don't know.
I agree that I would like for the lineups to stay the same because I think Isaac is performing well in the V carb.
Yeah.
And I love Isaac. But the issue is that how do you justify that to people when Isaac is performing a lot of times better than Yuki in the supposedly stronger car? And I think that they were getting away with it earlier in the season when Max wasn't feeling the car, and Max is still complaining about the car, but when Max wasn't bringing the results that he typically had, and Yuki was really underperforming, and Isaac was doing, up there with Max, and okay, that's a different discussion. Yeah. But now that Max is performing and Yuki is still not where he needs to be, but Isaac is in the V carb, how do you justify it to the fans, and how do you, which, I think Yuki has a lot of fans, so it's not necessarily all the fans, but how do you justify it to like the sponsors and especially, and it'd also be different if they ended up like with Yuki still, but winning and securing the Constructors' Cup. Mm-hmm. I think they'd be more willing to say, look, see, we can still win the Constructors' Cup with this. But they lost the Constructors' Cup because they didn't have a strong 2-pairing lineup.
And they swapped everything around beginning of the year.
Yeah. So while I agree, I would like for it to stay the same, and I think Isaac needs another year in V-Carb, I don't think that Red Bull can afford to keep Isaac in V-Carb another year.
No, I feel like he will be moving up. And I also think that, I think we've talked about it before, Eric Van Haren, who is like a Dutch reporter and reports a lot of stuff with Max and Red Bull. I think he has said that Isaac is going to Red Bull.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm thinking everything out. Yuki to Alpine, Isaac up, Arvid, thank you, and
to V-Carb with Liam, yeah.
And Alex Dunn, Red Bull F2.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Franco, reserve driver.
Yeah, Franco.
And I think they just part ways with Jack.
Yeah.
Open him up for, maybe Jack goes to IndyCar.
Let's get Jack into sports. Oh my god. Sports cars, yeah.
Oh my god, Jack and IMSA. Oh my god. We just realizing something at the same time. I hope it's the same thing, but we didn't talk about Mick.
Oh my god, you.
Wait, that was crazy. We thought of it at the same moment.
Really crazy. Oh my god. If you were only listening on Spotify, we gaslit each other and grasped hands.
Wait, that's crazy. Okay. Mm-hmm. We forgot to talk about some stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, pause Formula One.
Pause Formula One. Record scratch. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of IndyCar testing this week, including the announcement that Mick Schumacher was going to be testing the RLL. Mm-hmm. He's testing an Indy road course.
Yes.
And when is that? Monday? Next week?
It's soon.
I
don't remember the exact date. I apologize.
A lot of IndyCar testing. We had Dennis Hauger doing some testing. Kyle. We had Kyle Collette doing some testing. It was announced that Enzo is going to test with McLaren. Mm-hmm. Felipe Nasser tested with Penske. There's so many of them. So many more.
For sure.
Because it's just kind of that time. But Mick testing for RLL, I think, is different than everybody else doing the testing.
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody, or maybe Kaio and Dennis.
Yeah.
Kaio, Dennis, and Mick. But, like, Enzo doing the testing for Aaron McLaren. Like, Aaron McLaren has a strong lineup. Maybe they have Enzo as a reserve driver. And then, depending on how Nolan does next year, there's potential for Enzo. Yeah, which I would love.
Absolutely.
I would absolutely love. Enzo Fittipaldi and a McLaren. That would be my dream. But Mick and Dennis and Kaio. Dennis is secure for next year. Yeah. Kaio is in talks with some teams to move into IndyCar next year. So it was really important how his test went. And there is actually some weight to the test for Mick, because if Mick does do well in his test, he could potentially move into the RLLC, potentially the number 30.
Yeah.
And you all...
Well, you know our history.
You know our history with the number 30. And if you don't know the history with the number 30 IndyCar, because
right behind us,
it was a year ago. Oh, yeah. If you are visually watching, I do have the 2024 number 30 die cast behind us because it was Pietro Fittipaldi's number in IndyCar. It was when he was on RLL. Mm-hmm. So if Mick Schumacher were to join IndyCar, amazing. If he were to join RLL, amazing. Mm-hmm. I would take my RLL hat to get signed with him. Yeah. But if he was in the number 30,
it'd be crazy. Oh, there's a lot. Amazing. A couple people have reported, I don't remember who, that if Mick does well, these people are saying kind of his. Now, obviously, if I'm not remembering the name, I don't know if it's like, I don't know who it was from. So I don't know the truth to that. Oh gosh, I would just be so excited.
It would be really exciting to see.
Be so exciting
to see Mick in IndyCar.
Mick talking about it was really cute too. He was like, my dad's raced there. He's won there. Like, really cute.
Yeah, and he's really like he's winning and he's proven himself in sports car racing. Mm-hmm. And I think he has something to prove in open wheel racing. I think he still has like that. Like, I want to prove that I can do this. Uh-huh. Like, I had a shit situation with Haas and that whole thing.
Yeah.
I can perform in an open wheel race car and put me in.
Put me in, coach.
And RLL, Bobby is thinking about it.
David Letterman, please.
Bobby, David. I actually don't know Mr. Lanigan's first name.
I don't know Mr. Lanigan's first name either.
But I know Bobby and David. Bobby Rahal, David Letterman, someone, Mr. Langan.
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Come on. The legacy alone? And I know that doesn't get you far all the time.
Right. It doesn't, but it does. It's his dad is literally a legend in racing. And then also, like, just, he has a lot of fans. People want to see him succeed.
For sure.
And it's just another, like, it's going to bring more eyes to IndyCar.
For IndyCar.
It's going to bring more fans for RLL. So I hope that he does well, and I hope they give him a chance.
Me too.
And I hope Enzo does well also.
Yeah.
And that he gets to see with Arrow McLaren. I love McLaren F1 team, and I love McLaren in sports car racing, United Autosport, all of that. But I'm an IndyCar, like, I like Arrow McLaren for IndyCar. They aren't my favorite team I support, mostly Andretti. But if Enzo Fittipaldi were to join whatever team in IndyCar, I'd be all in.
Absolutely.
2024, I was the biggest RLL fan. They were sick of me in their DMs, tagging them.
If only if it was Emma back then.
I know.
And only if it was Emma.
Like, RLL, like, they were sick of seeing my name come across their desk because that's how big of an RLL fan I was in 2024. And if Enzo were to come into IndyCar, I would support him, whatever team he went. And it would probably, if he went to some of the teams, it would be hard.
I feel like
but I would do it.
I think there's a chance he could be in Indy next year.
Oh my god, I would love that. Yeah.
I heard a few people talking about that.
But yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Wow. Okay. Well, good luck, Enzo.
And Mick.
Yep. And everyone else. Good luck, everyone.
Absolutely.
Should we come back to Formula One now?
Yeah, for sure. I literally cannot stop thinking about the fact that we realized at the same time and screamed.
And like the way that I realized, and whenever you realized too, but I knew that we realized the same thing. There wasn't a doubt in my mind.
We were like, he could go to sports car racing.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Man.
So we had kind of talked through Alex Dunn and, potentially seats on for next year. Let's get into our next order of business, talking about seats for next year and the fact that, like, George Russell there's no official announcement of his contract being resigned.
No, it's literally crazy. Like,
it is insane.
He just won. Okay, joke's over. The gag is up. Give him a contract.
For sure, like, it has to be, in my professional opinion, George wants a longer contract, and Toto is still hoping for Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
To be able to come out and through, but Max literally said this weekend, we feel like a family again at Red Bull, so...
Well, yeah, they got rid of the drunk uncle. They got rid of the racist grandpa.
No, literally.
The racist grandpa?
Well, the racist grandpa might still be there.
Oh, yeah, the racist grandpa is still probably there. The racist grandpa's son. The racist dad. The misogynistic dad is gone. Once they get rid of the racist grandpa, ooh, they'll be cooking. Anyways, it's good that Red Bull feels like a family. Yeah. I'm excited. I can never say his name. What's the team principal's name?
Laurent Mekies.
I can never say his last name. Mekies.
He's doing a great job.
Him.
I absolutely love him. Love him at VCarb.
I'm excited to see what he can do with a full season.
Absolutely.
A full season. Yeah. So I'm holding any judgment. But then, freaking regulations, man. Yeah. Never know.
So where's George's contract? Toto basically came out this week and was like, yes, Kimmy will be driving for us in 2026. I mean, I've seen so many things that are like, George signed a 1+1. George hasn't signed anything yet.
I hope he holds on, and he deserves a longer contract with Mercedes.
Absolutely, he deserves a longer contract. I don't know, God bless him, I know Kimmy's a rookie, but George is pulling... Kimmy has scored a good chunk of points.
Yeah, Kimmy's done great. But
George is doing so well, and they're both doing well and getting them back into P2 in the constructors. I don't know. George is leading the team very well right now.
Right. He needed to step up, and he did.
He showed this weekend. He literally said after the interviews of this weekend, he was like, I would have never told you. I would have never guessed that I would have won Singapore.
Right.
Yeah. And then having, the bad luck he did 2 years ago, and then the bad luck during, the crashes in practices, and seeming like a not good qualifying, and then pulling out in Q3, having this crazy qualifying, crazy lap. Toto, that's just not messing around.
Yeah. Cut the cameras,
please.
Just do it.
Okay. First of all, in the interviews on Thursday, Charles said he doesn't believe Ferrari will win a race this year. I'm so sorry to all my Tifosi and Charles fans. Rest in peace. This season's hopes. There were heavy rumors.
Yes, there were.
Heavy rumors that Charles is... I mean, obviously he's not going to be happy right now about his situation.
Right.
There are heavy rumors that Charles has talked to Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin. Not about 2026, but about 2027.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's also what has Toto dragging his feet?
I think it could. Slightly.
Do you think Toto would... yes, Max Verstappen. He's Max Verstappen.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you think that he would have that same attitude for Charles, who's not a world champion, who's not really outperformed George in any way?
I think it would be insane for... And you always... You know what? A shakeup, could be crazy. McLaren did it with Oscar, and look at him now. I think that's also...
What if George and Lewis became teammates again, but at Ferrari?
At Ferrari? I couldn't see... I'm sorry.
I can't see him in red.
I cannot see George in red.
But I couldn't really see Lewis in red either. Until I saw the graphic that someone photoshopped.
Well...
You
know what I can't see? I can't see the Tifosi without Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because honestly, when we became Formula One fans, Charles was already in Ferrari. Mm-hmm. We've never seen... And well into it. We watched Drive to Survive, so we saw what it was like before Charles was in Ferrari.
Yeah.
But as actually watching the races, we haven't seen Ferrari. Ferrari is Charles, Charles is Ferrari.
Absolutely.
So to see it without Charles would be weird.
It'd be weird for sure.
I can't see them fawning over George like they do with Charles.
No.
And I guess they fawn over Lewis a lot, but not in the same way Charles.
Not in the same way as Charles.
They put Charles the Pope Charles.
No, absolutely.
And then some other people, and then Lewis.
Yes.
But I just can't see them embracing George. I also can't see George is so British.
So British.
It's hard to see him connecting with Italian fans.
He'd do it for sure, but I feel like Lewis would connect more than George would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would be George
it'd just be really unnatural.
It would. I don't know. I mean, I think I said this in one of our TikTok comments. If George went anywhere, I could see him at Aston the most.
Yeah, I could definitely see him at Aston.
Of Ferrari. I don't know.
Yeah. Then there's the rumors that Oscar's going to Ferrari too.
Yeah, those Charles rumors came out, and then all the rumors popped in that for Oscar going to Ferrari, and then
an interview from a long time ago came out.
It was from Mark Webber.
Yeah.
It wasn't even Oscar.
And he was just like, oh, yeah, like, you know, looking at other things, like maybe Ferrari one day. And it was, like, mentioned. And everyone's like, Oscar's talking to Ferrari. I'm sorry. If Oscar, even if he doesn't win the Drivers' Championship this year, if Oscar were to talk to Ferrari for 2027 without doing anything in 2026 and decided on anything, that would be just dumb. Like, it's not going to happen because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why would you leave a championship winning team to go? And again, it'd be different if it was somebody there other than Lewis. Mm-hmm. But, like, if you're going to try to be the number one driver somewhere, like, going on a team with Lewis Hamilton's not the one.
No.
So, like, even if he were to leave McLaren for a lesser team, Ferrari's not the place to do it.
No,
Red Bull's not the place to do it. And any other team's probably not worth it.
I mean, you know,
he really can't leave McLaren.
Even after, like, being frustrated from the start of today's race, which we'll get into, like, do not think there's something in his mind that's like, I should go somewhere else.
No. And maybe after, if he were to, like, lose the Drivers' Championship this year and Lando were to win, I think that he would be frustrated enough to, like, consider it. But even if he stopped and looked up at his options, he doesn't have another place to go.
I think people are really just trying to start stuff.
Yeah. Stir the pot.
Yeah.
Cause some drama.
Well, even, like, I don't even know who was starting this either, because all of the Oscar fans I saw were like, I'd rather stop being a Formula One fan than wear red.
Like, I can't. Can't do it.
Like, it could happen one day, and I feel like it will, and it's going to be really hard.
It's going to be hard, because eventually one day, Lando and Oscar are not going to be teammates on McLaren.
Stop.
And that's going to be really hard. And, like, my God, wait, we missed another piece of news.
What?
Pietro and Cadillac.
Oh, well, yeah.
Sorry. Another break. You know what made me think of this is me being like, I could never be a fan of anything other than McLaren. I'm like, well, I guess I support Cadillac now. I'm making my statement now, guys.
Okay, go for it.
I am also supporting Cadillac, and that is because it has been officially announced that Pietro is going to be a sim driver for the Cadillac F1 team. Woo!
There you go.
I think everybody knew.
Yeah. It was very obvious.
I definitely knew. I mean, he posted a picture walking in the GM like every other.
Like, if you paid attention to his stories, I feel like.
And he's been in a sim.
No, he's like
constantly. I'm scared.
No,
he's gonna turn into Fred Vesti.
No, but they have 3 sim drivers for Cadillac right now, which makes a lot of sense. Their new team coming in.
Yeah,
and he's in there so much. I'm like, what in the world is Mercedes doing with Fred?
No, literally.
No, literally. Can we give him like a buddy, please?
Yeah, give him someone. But like for the amount that Pietro seems to be based on social media posts in the sim. Mm-hmm. Like, do you think they just have, like, that seat has to be filled at all times of the day?
Well, yeah, I mean, and then how they talked about how they did, like, a full race weekend.
Yeah, they did, like, the full
practice race weekend.
Setup, and in the sim. I wonder if Pietro was the one that raced that race. Or do you think Checo?
I don't know, I think Checo was there
for it.
I think
so Checo was in it. But they basically, like, had everything set up like they were at an F1 race on the pit wall.
Did they follow along with the Monza weekend?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was Monza. But I'm really excited for Cadillac to come in, and I'm staking my claim now that I am a McLaren fan and a Cadillac fan. I always liked Cadillac. I support Cadillac in IMSA and WEC, but this is just another reason to. Thank you.
I do think it's a little crazy that Toto Wolff won't let Valtteri Bottas do any work with Cadillac.
Yeah, Toto's been pissing me off lately.
Like,
give George's contract. Let Valtteri hang out with his team.
He can still be y'all's reserve driver, but, like, it looks like he's just there for social media content, and I know he's doing more. I totally get it, but, like, literally, I get contracts. Free him. Like,
let him. It's not going to affect anything. He's not going to go and talk any secrets.
Well,
I hope he does, actually. Yeah. You know what, Valtteri? You better start taking notes, buddy.
Him and Checo just have a text thread, but it's all the invisible ink text.
No, literally.
That's so funny.
Anyways, back to the Formula One.
Yeah. So those were our things before the race weekend.
Should we get into the race weekend?
Yeah.
Singapore, before the weekend even started, they did officially for the first time make the statement that this was a heat advisory race, meaning that throughout the weekend they were able to use the cooling vests, but even if they didn't use the cooling vest, they had to have the mechanism set up in the car so that the weight was even. It was like fair if another driver decided to use the cooling vest. Because the cooling vests were available, no one's going to use them because it makes the car heavier, but if it's in everybody's car, it doesn't hurt you to use the cooling vest. Some drivers still decided not to use it because it's uncomfortable to some of them. Some of them did decide to use it. George Russell used it. Lando and Max didn't. But this was the first weekend that it was like mandated that they have to have the setup in the car because of the heat. Still, I don't think, not nearly as bad as Qatar in 2023, though.
No, but they want to do a freaking sprint race there next year.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's going to happen.
I don't think it's gonna.
You think they're going to change it before then?
No. Doubt they're going to change it before then, but I think something's going to happen day of, and they're going to be like, probably not. The FAA hates them. Sorry. I don't know. I think it's just
it's been a while since we've had a boycott.
Yeah, and like we had a lot of talks about it last year.
There were a lot of talks about a boycott. Come on, like let's get silly. Let's get silly, F1 drivers.
Do it at COTA, and I'm not just saying that because I have FOMO that I'm not going to be there.
I have FOMO for not being at COTA, but I feel like I have a healthy amount. Like it's not overpowering, and I think it's because Petit Le Mans is this weekend, and because we plan to go to Vegas. Like that's what's getting me through the COTA, like FOMO
for sure.
So I don't have nearly as much as I was expecting.
I didn't have nearly as much FOMO, and then I realized I think they're going to do like a huge Lando pop-up. Yeah. Like the Lando Monsters are now being sold in Austin. It's like the first time we've seen them in the US besides like
I feel like they'll be in Vegas though.
Maybe. The LN4 admin was like, they'll be at one more spot and it's not Singapore. But they also have that huge monster truck. And then I was like, I had no FOMO. And then people started doing their outfits and prep stuff. And of course, like the FOMO's happening. Right. But I think like it's a lot healthier than last year, and I had got so much FOMO I bought a ticket.
Yeah, it's not quite at that point.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but like not enough to pull the trigger.
Not quite there. Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
The race heat.
Oh yeah.
So it was hot.
Oh, the boycott.
The boycott. Yeah. It's hot. Nothing crazy. I mean, a lot of one thing that I think that they should do, like, why don't you give them a seat? Like, when they were doing the driver interviews after the race, like, obviously they were tired, it was hot. Yeah. They were, like, they obviously
George
wanted to sit down.
On the floor.
Yeah, and then, like, during the interviews, like, George started, like, crouching down.
Yeah.
Like, give him a chair.
It's like please give the grocery workers a chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they can say, like I promise the little Jensen Button will still be able to talk to them.
Yeah. No, but, so it was a hot race throughout the weekend. Yeah, it was. The practices, I didn't watch the practices this week.
I watched practice 3 only because I got up to take my parents to the airport. Mm-hmm. So I was up to watch that. I mean, I don't think there were a couple.
George was in the wall for practice 2, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of red flags in practice 1 and 2, I believe. So it was kind of like frustrating for the drivers because they weren't able to try a scenario for race. I forget which one. I forget if it was long runs or quali runs.
You know what happened in one of the practice sessions is the whole Charles Lando pit lane.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about that.
We brought this up last night with our friends while we were just like hanging out too. Like our friends that don't watch.
One of them watched. The others didn't.
Well, yeah.
It was whole thing. But basically I forget if it was practice 1 or practice 2.
I think it was practice 2.
One of the sessions, Lando, they were releasing people from the garages.
There was maybe 10 or 12 minutes left of practice.
Right. And Lando gets released almost at the same time that Charles gets released. But Lando was in the pit lane. Charles gets released by his mechanic, hits Lando. Lando goes in the wall, damages his wing. All of that. Everyone was like, what does this mean? What does this penalty mean? Yeah. Ferrari ended up just getting investigated for an unsafe release. They got a fine, no penalty points, no grid penalty, any of that. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of discussion. And something that we were talking about last night is, okay, Ferrari, like, I don't know if it has to be a grid penalty or a huge grid penalty or something, but McLaren has to benefit in some way because they just lost a whole front wing.
cost of the front wing was more than A, the fine, and B, the fine isn't going to
go to McLaren. It goes to the FIA.
Yeah.
So, like, if the fine was the same cost as a front wing and it went to McLaren, okay.
Or even half the cost.
It was funny jumping forward a little bit, during the race, whenever Lando first got damage on his front wing, I looked at Ryan, who is a Ferrari fan, and was the one arguing that they shouldn't, that the fine was fine. Everything was fine. I look at Ryan whenever and I go, damn, if only he had an extra front wing.
That's so funny.
Not that they really changed it anyways, but
yeah.
So there's just a lot of like discussion on, okay, like what's stopping, if that's the precedent that's set, what's stopping teams from just like, oopsie, like nudging you, which I don't think any of them are stupid enough to do it, but the fact that there's no benefit to McLaren for basically getting damage and having damage to the front wing and all of that with no, like, what's the word? Repercussion? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of a different word, but I can't think of it. Restitution? Yeah, what is it? Reparations.
Oh, like reprimanded?
No, reparations.
What is it?
What's the word?
They're going to respond right now. It's repercussion.
No, repercussion is something negative that happens to you.
Oh.
What's like when you get paid back for something? Reparations, I thought.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
Like, you know what? You keep talking.
Okay.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Anyway, yeah, that happened in practice.
Okay, reparation, the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. Reparations. The only reason I know that word is because reparations are like the whole discussion on like after slavery was abolished and like reparations, that kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha. Good word.
There you go. Word of the day.
We got there.
Anyways, McLaren didn't get any reparations.
Yes.
From the issue.
Yeah.
So.
Really.
But it was just being discussed in the group message that we have with a couple of our friends. It was getting heated.
I drove for like 20 minutes, and by the time I got, like, it had started up during or right as I left. By the time I got to my destination 20 minutes later, I had 70 text messages.
No, and it was between like Ryan, our Ferrari fan friend,
mm-hmm.
and then two of our other friends that are one likes Lewis, and the other one, I don't really know what he likes. He just kind of likes this racing, I guess. And they were like,
it was 2 against 1.
It was 2 against 1. Ryan was on his own, but they were going at each other, and they were like screenshotting
articles,
FIA documents, like
Article A, subsection 4,
the rule book. They were like, well, according to this, and they were like literally like lawyers. They're like, well, if you look at Hamilton versus FIA, 2008, you would see that, like, and it's like,
guys,
oh my god. Yeah, and it was getting really heated, and I was just sitting there. I was working when this was happening. I was like, guys,
it's 3 p.m. Are you guys on your jobs?
Yeah, do you all work? Like, what? I was like literally trying to. I think I was in a meeting, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was cackling. Though it was funny. It was
so funny
to me, because also the two that were defending McLaren are not McLaren fans. In fact, one of them is an avid McLaren hater. Yes. So I was just like, well, thank God someone's doing my work for me.
Yeah, we didn't have to do our work.
Afterwards, Ryan, to me and Gracie only, was like, I didn't have any backup. Like, why didn't you all? And I was like, Ryan, you didn't want me and Gracie to jump in because we were on the opposite side of
I went in and just like emphasized one of the Patrick, like a McLaren hater, his message, and I was like, I can't believe we're agreeing on something right now. I was like, that is crazy. Formula One, I cannot believe we're agreeing on something. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, that was practices. Those were, some incidents, red flags, yellow flags. Kind of happened galore. So people are like, what's going to happen in qualifying and the race? Qualifying, I feel like it was kind of straightforward. There weren't too many upsets.
Yeah.
I mean, I was personally hoping Williams would do a little bit better. We got out in Q1 and Q2.
Yeah, so there, I will say the only like real notable thing that happened was at the end of Q1, who was it that lost power? Was it Pierre that lost power in Q1?
I think so, yes.
I think Pierre lost power in Q1, like near the end of Q1, which caused a yellow flag. A lot of the drivers that were finishing up their final lap had to slow down in that one section, but not for like, they didn't have to like abandon the lap. So what that caused, because it was like right up to like the end, that caused there to be a delay because the FIA had to go in and investigate basically like, hey, did they adhere to the rules with the yellow flag or did they not? Because they had to should have figured that out before the start of Q2 to make sure that the correct people were moving on into Q2, because all of the people that were finishing their laps, of course, were all the ones right on the cusp of getting eliminated. And so originally they delayed Q2, and then after delaying it, they still were like, oh, we'll investigate it afterwards. Like, first of all, what'd you delay it for then? Second of all,
who's like, once again, what are your jobs? Like,
right. And to be fair, this time it was like no one got any further action for it. So like there were no issues, but say someone did, get found out that they were not adhering to the rules, and then they shouldn't have made it to Q2. And then the person that would have made it to Q2 didn't get the chance to qualify. And it's just like, okay, like they could have came in, had an amazing lap, made it to Q3, been in top 10.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. It's like, okay, you need to figure that out like now. Like if you're going to delay it for a reason.
Yeah, don't just.
Also, this week, for the first time ever, I tried to watch qualifying while I was walking on the treadmill. So the fact that they delayed it and I was like already like, oh my God, when is this ending? I was like, guys, we can't.
Please
can't
do something. Delay.
Good thing I didn't try to do it for what was the last race?
Oh, Baku?
For Baku qualifying. The longest qualifying ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been crazy.
So then we make it to Q3. George Russell puts in the lap of his life.
He was kissing the wall.
Do that, or did my eyes do that? Sorry, something got blurry and I can't tell if it was my contacts or if it was a computer.
I wasn't looking.
Okay, my bad. Anyway, if it messed up a little bit, I'm sorry. George Russell puts in the lap of his life.
Yeah, he was kissing the wall.
Yeah, but
giving a little pecks. Nothing crazy.
Turned out well for him.
Turned out really well for him.
Yeah, awesome.
He put together 2 really good laps.
Yeah,
actually.
great laps.
It wasn't even just one. Like, he put together a great lap.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, George Russell. And then he did it again.
And he
said, want to see me do it again?
Want to see me do it again? No, and we did.
And we watched
it. Was great. Yeah, loved it. Nobody was going to really beat that.
No. Max got second.
Max was trying to claim that Lando impeded him on his very last lap when Lando...
I don't see it.
I don't see it at all. Max also locks up, and you can see Lando, but Max locks up before he's even near Lando.
Yeah, and that's where he loses a lot of time.
Yeah, it's just like literally insane. Even in the moment, the commentators were like, what is he talking about?
Yeah. I will say sometimes when drivers have beef with each other, it makes me like nervous. Like I don't like when Lando and Oscar have beef.
When Lando and Max have beef.
I like when Lando and Max have beef.
Max was throwing Lando off the track so many times last year.
I know, but I think that they handled their beef well.
No.
I think they do. Not like nicely. I don't mean well like it's like nice. It's like well like it's good drama. They like play into their beef. They like nipping at each other.
Well, yeah, but then there's also moments like Austria when Lando can't finish the race.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it sucks, but it's good. It's good drama.
I kind of hate it. I mean, I love it, but I hate it.
Like the comments in the media that Max was making after the race.
Lando's was hilarious.
Yeah, and then Lando
Red Bull's gonna complain.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like shit like that. Like I like the drama of the beef, but I only like beef with some. Like I like the Lando Max beef. I like the George Max beef. Love the George Max beef. I don't like. Beef is iconic. I mean, I don't like any beef between like. I don't like when Fernando has beef with people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't like that. I don't know why.
Okay.
I think Fernando's too mature to be too like testy about it in the media. So like, if you're not giving me like snide comments, although Fernando had beef with Carlos today in the race.
Yeah. Fernando had beef with his race engineer.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Fernando had beef for me. Not like Fernando having beef. He had beef with a lot of people today. I don't know. I like the Max and Lando beef.
I just know that like they both won't give up on the track.
Yeah, and that's what makes for good-ass racing.
It does make for good racing until they crash. It just stresses me out.
That's racing, baby. I don't want it to happen. Obviously, I don't want either of them to crash. I definitely don't want, with them being so close to the championship and me wanting Lando to do well, I don't want that to happen. But damn, it makes for good TV.
I also feel like now kind of at this point, well, Max kind of always hasn't had anything to lose with the championship, but now he just doesn't have anything to lose. If he's like, well, damn, I take out a McLaren, there goes my chances a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I liked the beef. I'll say it.
I mean, yeah.
Another thing to note before the race starts is there was, and spoiler, there was a chance for McLaren to secure the Constructors' Cup. So going into the race, there was already they were like, Lando, Oscar, you just got to finish the race.
I mean, they needed 13 points. It was going to happen no matter what, even if one of them only
right. But finish the race.
Yeah.
And so that's what race lap 1. It made it a little scary because they were next to each other. Go ahead. You explain it.
So the race started, and the commentators pointed this out. Everybody who had the outside line kind of didn't fare well. So, Oscar had the outside line, Max had the outside line, George and Lando were on the inside, and they seemed to fare a little bit – fare? That's the right word. Start a little bit better. And so, as the start goes, George kind of gets out of the way. Max is right behind him. Lando moves up a place from 5th to 4th and is right next to Oscar. And they get along side by side. They're going through a turn. They get to turn 3. Lando gets pretty close to Max, has to kind of avoid it a bit, gets into Oscar. They bump. Lando, a bit of his front wing gets damaged, but it's fine. He can finish the whole race with it. And Oscar, rightfully is mad. I think he's rightfully mad. Lando got in his way.
He also doesn't see the full situation. He didn't know Lando, or maybe didn't know the extent of the Lando-Max situation.
Yeah. I apologize. Lando gets his damage on his wing from Max, not from Oscar.
Right.
I misspoke.
So obviously he's pissed. He is not happy at all.
Oh my God.
And he makes that very well known on the radio.
Very well known.
So already there was tension.
Mm-hmm.
He made it quite clear to his race engineer he was not happy. There was tension. The race engineer was like, dude, we just got to keep going. And he got hung up on it. It was still laps later, and he's like, so, what the fuck?
Well, and then, it got cleared by the FIA. The FIA was like, racing incident, fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the team was like,
kind of came back over and was like, hello. And then Tom was like, hey, it's cleared by the FAA.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Keep racing. We'll talk about it after. He'll be like, Oscar came back on. I forget what he said. And then Tom was like, well, talk about it after.
Yeah, Tom was like, Oscar, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Which, and then we also have another classic situation where Lando and Oscar both have to pit. And they're like, who's going to pit first?
Mm-hmm.
Last time...
freaking funny this was.
Last time Lando was like, let Oscar pit first. Oscar pits. Lando pits. Lando has a shitty pit stop. Then Monza happens with the whole thing with okay, let Lando through. This is Hungary from last year. Blah, blah, blah. So this same situation we're in with McLaren again. They both need a pit stop.
Oscar needed to pit a little bit more so he wasn't undercut by Charles.
Exactly.
So they came over the radio and were like, Lando, Oscar needs to pit soon to not be undercut by Charles. Do you want to pit first, or do you want to let Oscar go? And Lando's like, no, he can pit first. And he goes, never mind, I'll pit first.
Yeah.
Those were his exact words. He was like, he can go. Just kidding, I'll go.
He was like, I'm not risking it again.
No.
So Lando goes into pit. Good pit stop. And then I was like, okay, so what's going to happen now?
What's going to happen next?
Because if Oscar has a bad pit stop again, then the precedent that they set in Monza...
In my opinion, in Hungary.
Yep. would cost him.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a little bit different because
well, for sure,
Lando was already in front of him. Like if Oscar was in front of him and then Lando pit and then Oscar pit and had a bed pit stop, would they make
would
they?
Thank God Lando just pit first.
Would they have just let him go? Like would they said Lando let him through? This is Monza again, and it's a vicious cycle. It's the precedent they set, and that's why they should have never done it in Monza. Already they were pushing it in Budapest.
Yeah.
Okay, but Budapest was a whole nother year.
It was a whole.
Let's move on. But if the fact that they did it in Monza set the precedent for 2025, and I still am. I'm very firm in the fact that they should have never let that happen in Monza. Because if something would have happened today, then one of the drivers would have thrown that in their face and said, hey, this is exactly what happened. Why am I not being let through? All I had is a bad pit stop. It's your all's fault. Blah, blah, blah. I will say, Oscar did have a bad pit stop.
Horrible pit stop.
Not the front wheel like Lando's been the last couple times. It was the back wheel. Hey, McLaren, can you practice your pit stops, please?
No, they need to update their pit stuff.
We're about to get the Sauber reputation.
Literally, in Baku, when Lando also had a slow pit stop, they literally came out more like, or Stella came out and was like, it might actually be like our pit stop hardware. We might need to update that. And it's like, no shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, this has been happening since Silverstone.
Like, sorry, but like, we can't be the people with sticky nuts.
We just won the Constructors' Championship, and we're pulling out 5-second pit stops every single race since Silverstone?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
Fix that.
Everybody was like, so I guess McLaren can only do one good pit stop a race.
No, it's literally what it feels like. But yeah, Oscar had a bad pit stop, and again, because Lando was already ahead, and also Oscar was far enough behind, he wouldn't have been able to catch up. It would have been, like, Lando would have had to, like, actively slow down for them to let him through, which it wouldn't have made sense. But it just, again, it causes issues.
And luckily nothing happened this race. He beat Charles out, so Charles didn't gain an advantage. I think if Charles gained an advantage, like,
Oscar would have burned the world down. We would have seen
a generational crash out from Oscar Piastri. Very well, like, earned.
Right.
Deserved.
A well-earned crash out, but a crash out nonetheless. For sure.
But, I mean, at least it was fine. Not fine. It's not fine, actually.
It's not fine. It's fine. So, George, I would say for the race, he was on his own.
We didn't see him.
He was good.
And that was fine, because he did what he needed to do, and he just finished that race.
Yeah. Max was struggling quite a bit with the Red Bull. Yeah. While he was in second, he struggled throughout the whole race, and he made that very clear on the radio. And Lando was, like, kind of, like, nipping at his heels pretty much this full second half of the race, for sure. Like,
I feel like if Lando didn't have that one moment where I forget what happened. Hit the wall, slow down.
Yeah, he like, bumped the wall.
It had something, but he was pretty close to Max within a second. And something had happened. He slowed back to 2. I feel like if that wouldn't happen, he could have got closer, but also, like...
The thing is, too, like, the last, like, 15 laps, like, he was consistently within a second of Max. It's just so hard to overtake in Singapore that, like, he didn't really get a good opportunity, and obviously it's Max Verstappen. He's like, he knows how to defend in a Formula 1 car.
I'm gonna remember that till Lando allegedly blocked
him. And he did.
From qualifying.
And he remembered it. He remembered it for sure.
My favorite part was when they were battling, and there were like maybe like 3 laps to go or something, and they were passing Isaac in the like laps traffic. And they were passing Isaac, and Isaac's engineer came over and said, "You know what to do on this coming up." And Isaac was like, "Yep, get out of the way."
Yeah,
he didn't say that. He was like, "Yeah." And then he
kind of got like snippy too. He was like, I don't know if it's this situation or a different one, but he was like, "Hey, this person coming up behind him." He's like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah,
and that may have been a different.
I mean, it might have been that. He was like, "Yes, like I clearly know I'm going to get out of their way."
Yeah.
Isaac also had engine issues.
He did,
and his engineer came over and was like, "We're having engine issues again. I'm so sorry. Very similar. Basically, I'm so sorry. It's going to be difficult." He was able to finish.
Yeah,
and Isaac was like, "Are you kidding me? Why does it keep happening?"
Yeah.
And I would like to know as well.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's time for him. Maybe he needs to move up to Red Bull.
All right, get him in the seat.
I'd like to see his lap times in a Red Bull.
Love to see the lap times in a Red Bull.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
Some other stuff that happened, Fernando and Carlos. I don't know what caused Fernando to say this, but Fernando said something like, what did he say?
I don't know.
He said something along the lines of like, he didn't say driver of the day, but he was like, award for best. Like, what did he say?
That wasn't a Carlos.
Who was it?
That was Isaac.
Was it? What did he say?
It was a award for like the hero of the race or something.
Hero of the race.
No, that was to Isaac because he was defending against Isaac, but Isaac had the engine issues, but Isaac was defending with his life.
Yeah.
And then so that's why Fernando was like, hero of the race award goes to them or something. Yeah, no, that was Isaac.
Okay. F1 TV said it was to Carlos afterwards.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. Like, F1 TV, they were talking about, they're like, yeah, Carlos Sainz got an award. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. They could have been wrong, too. Or maybe I heard wrong.
No, because it was during the race. Because then I remember, like, GC and Julian were talking about, they were like,
I know, they mentioned
good of him for, like, putting up a fight.
I don't know who said it on the commentators, but I could have heard it wrong. Yeah. But the fact that Fernando's just so funny, and he was, again, having beef with the race engineer, was like, if you keep talking to me in every single lap, I'm going to disconnect the radio.
People voted him driver of the day.
And you know what? Yes, he deserves it. I love Fernando Alonso with all my heart. In like a fatherly way. Like, I'm like, Fernando, you keep going, buddy. Keep going. I like look at Fernando like he's my dad. Yeah. Like, I want him to succeed a lot. But like, I'm also like, don't hurt yourself.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
And not much else happened. Well, actually, much else did happen during the race. It was towards the end of the race. It was running Kimi, Charles, Lewis pit for new tires, and then Charles let him through to try and go get Kimi. But then Lewis had brake failure.
Yeah. So he's like, I think, pushing too hard. Yeah. He was able to keep his spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Kimi had a fantastic overtake on Charles that caused them to pull Lewis in, swap positions, try to catch him. Kimi did really good this weekend.
Yeah, he did really good this weekend, for sure.
The Mercedes were really quick this weekend.
Even George afterward was like, we're going to need to go tomorrow and look at exactly what we have for today.
They were like, are you going to be able to bring this to Austin? He was like, honestly, like, we didn't think we were going to have it in Singapore. So like, we're going to have to look at the numbers on why we were so good. And I just love when like some Formula One cars are so like particular and so like finicky. Like I was talking about this with Ryan watching the race. I was like, my favorite thing ever is when like Formula One cars get damaged, but the damage, like, it's minor damage, but it's damage that it tweaks the car enough that it makes it faster than what it was. And that happens sometimes. It's like you could just like bump something slightly, and it's like somehow that gets you like a better slipstream or whatever the case is. And so like a lot of times, like when they're like fixing car, like sometimes it's just on. Yeah. And the drivers are like, listen, man, I don't get it either. I don't know. The engineers are like, oh, I'm scratching their head.
When, I forgot what race it was when Charles got pole.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know. I thought McLarens were getting pole.
I don't know. Yeah. Or like, it's just so funny. Like, even just like the slightest bump can like make them quicker. And they're like, okay, we're gonna go with it. So it'll be interesting to see. Do you want to do your...
Well, we should say George won, Max got second, Lando got third, Oscar fourth, McLaren got the constructors.
Woohoo! It was so like less... Like, it was obviously exciting, but it's like, I almost like was watching the race, I was like, oh, McLaren might get the constructors. Versus last year, like, again, it was Abu Dhabi.
The last lap.
I was like...
Yeah, and like for the first time in forever.
Right.
Obviously, like, still so excited. Yeah. The only thing I thought was a little bit of a bummer is when the team got up on the podium, Oscar was still in media. I don't know why they didn't drag him up. Like, afterwards, I was like, where's Oscar?
Yeah, also I feel bad for George because whenever he won in Vegas last year, Max got the Drivers' Championship. We were there. And then now when he wins night races. And then when he won in Singapore, McLaren got the constructors. So,
but I feel like everybody knew McLaren was going to get the constructors, and George just had a weekend of, or I would say a qualifying in a race of his life.
Yeah,
and it was great.
Yep.
Shoot, I had one more thing to say. Oh, before we do champagne pops and problems, I am very interested to see how this like Austin, Mexico, Brazil is going to go. Oscar didn't have the best time last year.
Yeah, actually
Oscar is in like another form this year. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to go.
He struggled quite a bit in those 3 races.
Well, and also we have Vegas, which is, we're going to get P6 and P7.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm interested. It'll be the next couple races. The fact that, and like, yes, McLaren's had such a dominating season, and everyone's like, I don't want to see McLaren win. We didn't want to see Red Bull win. Now we don't want to see McLaren win. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's different because at this time we have 6 races to go, and it could not the champion's not just between 2 people; it's between 3. And 3 very any of them very likely. It's not like last year it was between Max and Lando, and we're like, well, if Lando does this, and this, and Max DNFs this, twice, there's a chance. Yeah. No, this is truly, there are 3 drivers with 6 races left, 3 drivers that could win. We're 3/4 of the way through the season. 3 drivers still
6 races, 2
could secure. And the fact that it's that close still, with McLaren having such a dominating race season, just once again proves Max Verstappen.
No, so good. And I think that Red Bull has come alive, and they've obviously kept working on it throughout the season. And I feared that McLaren was well, we've got the car, let's focus on 2026. And it's wait.
I know they're oh shoot. Back to the drawing boards. What do we do with those sketches? Pull those up.
Yeah, pull them back out, please.
Yeah. No, it's so fun to watch. This does just make me so excited for the regulations coming through in 2026. And it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. And then one last thing, I texted you this. People have been saying for so long. I even saw there's 2 things. I even saw Lando fans yesterday that were again, he is unwell, but I would like to see it look like he cares a little bit more. People wanted to see Lando look like he gave a shit more, and I think he did lap 1. And then people wanted to see Oscar actually get mad on the radio, and that happened lap 1. Yep. People have been asking for it all season, and we've seen it.
We got it.
We got it. Stop complaining.
Also,
I don't want to see any McLaren fans complaining. I don't want to see any Oscar fans complaining. Hey, everybody's tired of it.
Yeah.
Fans that non-McLaren fans are tired of it. Regular, just casual Formula 1 fans are tired of it. I'm tired of it as someone who likes both of them equally.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all. I don't want 2 weeks of this before we get to Austin.
Yeah.
Please, we do not need to keep going over this.
Yeah. No, honestly.
Okay. Now I'm ready for champagne pops and problems.
Okay, who's getting your... Let's do problems first. Who's your problem?
I wasn't ready for a champagne problem.
Sorry, okay, who's your pop?
Okay, my champagne pop is going to go to George.
Okay.
I think he had a great, weekend all around. I'm going to give an honorary to, the extended McLaren team that we don't see that have helped, them get this far. And
this one's for you.
Secure the constructors this way.
Yeah.
This early, that many points.
I'm going to give my champagne pop. I would have given it to George, but since you gave it to George, I'll give it to Ollie.
Oh, amazing. Why?
And Carlos. They both worked their way up into points. Okay. Carlos got from P18 to points.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Sparkle's coming in clutch again. So yeah, I'll do Carlos and Ollie.
Amazing.
Having good races, good recoveries there.
Yeah. My champagne problem, I'll give it to Lewis. He tried, and then it didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
I'm going to give mine to Oscar.
Yeah.
Because even though he didn't have a bad weekend, he had a bad attitude about the weekend. It was a bad weekend for him in his eyes with his attitude. Yeah. So.
Also, I'd like to clarify, my champagne problem's not going to Lewis because of Roscoe, because of trying to overtake Kimmy in the race.
Right.
Rest in peace, Roscoe.
Rest in peace. R.I.P.
Hope Lewis is doing well. It sucks to lose a pet so badly. Okay, that was our Formula 1 race. McLaren won the Constructors. We are 2 weeks' time racing in Austin, Texas. This will be my first time watching
a U.S.
COTA at home.
Yeah.
Because the first year I was a fan and watched COTA, we were at a baby shower.
We were.
And then the day before that, we were at a winery. And then last year we were actually at COTA.
Do you also know that since we started Podium Pop, this is the first U.S. Formula 1 race that we're not attending?
Yeah, since we started.
Grateful that we were able to attend all 3 last year. We attended Miami. But the fact that this is going to be the first one that we're watching a U.S.-based race.
Yeah. Well, there was Vegas, but we hadn't started Podium Pop.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
From home as Podium Pop. Podium Pop was just a twinkle in our eye.
Podium Pop was just a twinkle. I don't even think we had the name.
No, we didn't have the name until January.
Also, that Vegas, I literally almost flew out just for racing.
She was close.
But
if I was more financially stable at the time, I probably would have been like, let's go.
No, I literally was, and I lived with my parents at the time. I was like, I have no financial responsibility right now.
let me go for it.
The only thing that stopped me is that their flight got delayed and they didn't come home until the next day. So I was like, oh no, you can take care of the cats. I gotta stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been crazy. Imagine if I had just gone to Vegas.
I would have loved that for you. I would have loved that journey.
Yeah, that would have been so funny. Next weekend, there is the last IMSA race of the season at Petit Le Mans in Road Atlanta.
Let's go, Brett Miller!
Yeah, absolutely. Celine is 100% confirmed to be going. I am still debating a little bit. So we will see. We could have half a Podium Pop there, all a Podium Pop there. And Watson would like to say goodbye to you guys.
Watson, speak on it, girl.
Go ahead. What do you think? So expect a lot of IMSA content. We've had a couple people on TikTok ask us to like give a quick rundown on IMSA. So this week we're gonna do just like a quick TikTok socials video about IMSA, super quick, and then we'll give one about like Road Atlanta. So look out for those. They're not gonna be like the most in depth, but we'll give you the facts because we know there's a lot of new fans.
Yeah, and I think honestly too during the off season, where once all of the racing is kind of done, we're kind of in that little middle area, we'll probably do some more IMSA videos, sure. Maybe a whole podcast dedicated to it, bring on some IMSA experts as well to discuss more, but we'll talk more about it to hopefully get some people up to speed for next season. A lot of IMSA fans are coming in for Logan Sargent. It's not announced if Logan Sargent is for sure racing in IMSA next year, but it's looking likely. So we'll definitely want to have all of that information ready for you all if you all haven't really watched IMSA before.
Yep.
But Petit Le Mans, I'm very excited.
Yeah, very excited.
We'll be posting while there. We're only going for race day. We're not going to be there for qualifying or anything because it's happening on Friday and I do work. But it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
It'll be my first time at Road Atlanta. It'll be my first time at Petit Le Mans. And hopefully we get some good results for our favorite teams. So
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Thank you for listening in.
We're going to go watch the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, oh my gosh.
We're going to go cry.
Obligatory end of episode about the Bengals. Last two games have been just horrific. It's not even fun anymore. And I had midweek crash out. All of our friends were like, let's go to a tailgate. And then I don't think it'll happen. Maybe potentially buy a last minute ticket to the game. And I was like, I don't want to support them right now. They're doing shit. I want them to know I had a huge crash out.
They did have a crash out, yeah.
I'm back. I've always said don't be a bad sports fan. And I've learned that from the Bengals. So I'm not being a bad sports fan. Mm-hmm. But if you guys could just wish them well. My Etsy witch isn't working for the Bengals right now. So.
Keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
Please, T's and P's for the Bengals.
T's and P's for the Bengals.
And insanity.
On that note, we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Oh, one more thing. Next week, the episode might be a little bit later again because we'll be at Petit over the weekend. So
expect an episode probably Tuesday.
I guess. So,
bye.